Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charice from regulation team of the Ovum based in London. I'm so pleased to be invited to provide a presentation here. And also, I'm so happy to hear the debate between the regulator and operator in Macedonia, and learn quite a lot about the Macedonia telecom market. I think so far today I will provide some different voice, what I mean, like different language here. So NGA topic is a continued very hot topic in Europe. A lot of incumbents in Europe already announced that NGA deployment plan is based on different market competition and the population density. So there are different business models for the NGA. It also is for different, really flexible regulation approach for the regulators. This is my presentation's agenda. So firstly, I give a little bit introduction about Ovum. Maybe some of you already know, Ovum is a very famous brand of the independent research and consulting firm based in London. We provide global geography market analysis, and we provide most hot topics in ICT industry. In our regulation team, we have provide 3 key products and 2 new products and introduced this year. Like interconnection benchmarks and wholesale broadband access benchmarks. We benchmarks over 50 countries in the global and provide a comparison by using our own methodology to ranking the fixed interconnection, mobile termination, local loop unbundling, share access, and recently we just introduced the dark access price regulatory table. For the country regulation overviews, we provide over 40 and to 50 countries in global. Most cover like fixed, mobile, universal service, and we tracking the market analysis, decision, and remedies in most countries. Also, we expand into most emerging markets at the moment. Also, we provide 10 reports every year on the hot topics in global to choose the key country studies. Most topics cover like NGA, spectrum policy, net neutrality, and some like regulatory policies. This year we introduced new products called regulatory scorecard. We compare 10 countries between their independence of the NRAs and the structures, liberalization, spectrum. So in 2011, in our team, the key topics cover interconnection, NGA, spectrum policy, and regulation for the tomorrow. Like some speakers already mentioned, like net neutrality and the universal service, the new EU framework and transposition into the EU member statement, the local law system, and customer protection. We just focus illegal P2P fair sharing at the moment. Also, we focus on the convergency service. So now we're back to next generation access. European Commission provide a general definition on the NGA. So broadly speaking, NGA is internet to use next generation fiber rather than copper where the most broadband customers use at the moment. So this means a lot of different technologies to use by the operators. For example, like FTTC, FTTH, and the DOCSIS 3.0 and HFC, and even a lot of mobile technologies like WiMAX and LTE. So this means NGA involve a lot of capital intensive investment in infrastructure. And also, in most countries, they need a very clear regulatory approach, and also like operator to choose these technologies. So this means for regulators, it's a very big regulatory challenge. So for most regulators, they need to strike this balance between foster competition and promote investment. For the regulators, they think it's quite uncertain returns on this next generation access investment, and also regulation uncertainty delays some operators' investment. And for the regulator, they recognize the new bot networks rise in the NGA networks when maybe some old networks disappear, like exchanges. So for the regulators, they need to secure this competition and to make sure these bottlenecks will disappear. So for the government policy and the regulators' intervention, so the most to get this balance right. So I just borrowed some Ovum's this picture to show these active products and passive products. For the active products, generally we mean like bitstream, and for the passive products, it means like dark access and sublocal unbounding and some fiber local bounding. So they have the different advantage and disadvantage to use these different regulatory tools. For the active products, generally they lower these prices, but very limited to the competitors to choose these products and price. But for the passive these products, they give a lot of this choice to the competitors to choose. But in the meantime, they need some investment, maybe this duplicative investment in some like infrastructure. Also, they increase the price cost. So in this table, I just like to compare this disadvantage and advantage of the active access and passive access. And also list the countries so far in the European member statement to use active bitstream and passive access. So you can see from the active access, the mining service providers can use it, but it is like a lot of like a differentiation and innovation. For the passive access, they give a lot of this choice to the consumers, but the cost may be very high. For the dark access, this is quite the new products and encouraged by the NGA recommendation. They are already used by some countries like Austria, Denmark, France, Germany, Portugal, Spain, and the UK. So now we talk about some NGA policies at the European levels. First, I provide some general view about incumbent to deploy these NGA networks. Like this incumbent announcement, the DT, they announced to reach like 10% of household by the 2012 by using FTTH. The BT announced to reach like 40% household by mixed technology of the FTTH and FTTC. And also they try to reach 2/3 of the household by 2015. So we can see this NGA deployment is already into this near or medium deployment strategy for the incumbent in the Europe. And also for most operators, the most attractive or maybe motive with partnerships with these public bodies and joint fundings. So very good example is the Netherlands. they use a lot of these working with the local government and like state aid to deploy that NGA networks. So for the European levels, the most important regulation is from the European Commission's NGA recommendation. They borrow heavily from the UK case, so they think like one size fits all will not be appropriate. So they think like UK case, like Ohrid, if they impose the functional separation, so like in the it's already got the competitive retail market, so the price should be maybe open to the market, not be regulated. And also like Ovum imposed like VOLA, is a virtual unbundled local access. They think it is okay in the near future, but in the long term, they still need to introduce like fiber unbundling. And also they think in the market file analysis, the sub-national markets should be okay. So also they think in the legally possible should be imposed like these multiple fiber lines to the SMP operators. The good example in the France and Switzerland. For the unbundling, they really confirmed this fully unbundling should be imposed if these like barriers of technology and the economy and disappear. And also the price should be regulated by the regulator. Also, they think should be adjusted by the Wang to like reflect the high risk of this commercial deployment of the NGA. And they give some like new obligations on the regulators. They think like market 4 and 5 should be analysis at the same time, and the remedy should be consistent across these both. And also like the regulators should map the dark networks and to assess this dark access can be available. And also like sub-loop unbundling should be more attractive in each local market. And also I need to mention like European Commission's this recommendation is very flexible at the moment because they think this very beginning stage of the fiber deployment. So this reason they generally give the permission with a lot of flexible regulation approach in the Europe. I just mentioned like Ovum's VOLA, this, and also like German regulator, they just like impose ex-post price regulation on its ET's FTTH network. Also, the principle of the ladder of investment is valid in the NGA environment. So from this picture, you can see from the right hand, these the ladders for the competitors to climb up. So when the competitors climb up these ladders, the investment in this infrastructure will increase at the same time. And also the left hand to show like the wholesale products can to reach this access point. So generally for the regulator, they need to compare these access products and wholesale products together. But it does not mean for each one should be necessary for the regulator to use. So regulators need to think about how to, based on these local market circumstances, to compare the